let me understand. You're saying that you were there in the crowd and the minister just came straight at you and shouted at you. That is what you're saying.
No, I was not. We just arrived at the place only.
He just came to the place.
Just
Okay.
arrived at the place. Just arrived at the place, and we were just moving to know what is happening, what the dialogue is going on. That's all what happened.
Okay.
As I was moving.
And what did he tell you?
Was rushing. Pardon?
What did he tell you? He told you something, right? He told you.
He was very furious, and he told me, "Don't show off."
Don't show off. Okay.
That's what he has. Yeah.
Don't show off.
Then he went away.
Okay. We have, in fact, Sebastian Paul. You come to a place where the tragedy is there, and the first thing that you do is that when people move, when there is commotion happening, the first thing that happens is that the minister tells that person that don't show off. That is what exactly happened, and then you have a case filed against him.
Yeah, a case is filed against him. It is very surprising. And
surprising that a case is being filed on a person who went to see what was happening. Yes, Sebastian Paul, could you respond to it?
I have no case that the ministers were behaving in an exemplary or moderate manner. Something might have happened there because the situation was so tense because 4 fishermen were missing and their families, their colleagues, neighbors, all were gathered there, and something untoward might have happened there. But the ministers should have controlled the situation with the help of Monsignor and other priests who are tremendous control over the people. But instead, what happened was a show off. It turned out to be a show off between the ministers and the clergy. That was the root cause for all these unfortunate incidents. And I am not justifying or welcoming the case registered against Monsignor Eugene Pereira, or I am not taking any sides. This is most unfortunate. In such situations, ministers, being representatives of the people, they should know how to behave and how to tackle a situation.
Tackle a situation. Rahul Ishwar, you heard what the Father Eugene had to say. Case being filed, and he had just come over there, but he's not directly involved. It's being said that they tried to create a riot. I think that is the charge, Father, that has been put against you. Father Eugene, you can hear me?
I have.
What is the charge that has been put against you?
Probed the people to block the ministers.
Oh, block the ministers. Okay, so you actually try to initiate a blockade of the ministers. Rahul Ishwar, this is the charge also that has been put. Now, for me, I've seen how the LDF and LDF's constituents, when they are in the opposition, they, block the roads, block the ministers, block everything, and create the kind of situation that we would see where even they, in fact, shut down entire towns as well. But then, when someone does the same thing to them, it seems that it is a little bit of too much to solve.
First of all, pranam to Father Eugene Pereira. All the best. May God, bless all your initiatives, because Father Eugene has been instrumental in channelizing the anchor and raising the voice for the marginalized community. So, first of all, respect for that. Second, as you rightly said, with due respect, the left government always believes in right standard. The left turns into right when they get power, and when they goes out of power, they again goes into the left liberal mode. That is very unfortunate. That's the reason why some people say governments anywhere, whether they belong to any party, X, Y, or Z, they will always have their own authoritarianism. And that authoritarianism is not good for a nation like India, where there is such diversity and vibrance. That's the reason why these are very welcome statements by Sebastian Paul sir too. Such kind of civil society opinion should come, and ministers should have a rethink and introspection regarding what they have done or what their posturing is. And I genuinely hope, as fast as possible, as a matter of as a show of good faith, the case against Father Eugene Pereira, the case against others, be withdrawn, and such kind of confidence building measures be there. And as the points raised by the clergy be addressed and the fishermen be addressed in a fast-paced manner. That's how you find a consensus. That's how you take things forward, not by being over-assertive, not by being aggressive, not by being confrontational. Ministers or people's representatives cannot afford to be confrontational. They cannot play it to the gallery. They are responsible people who should have a moral responsibility, a constitutional obligation to reach out and heal. I hope that healing happens very soon.
Well, healing will happen very soon. But Father, what do you think? What is the next step that the church plans to take? What is the next step that you're planning to take after these charges have also put against you?
See, the case is not something new to me. during the Vizhinjam agitation also, we were very peaceful. I was very much proposing to the people that agitation should not go out of the hand. So my intervention not only in the sea coast, I have intervened in many issues, the anti-liquor movement in Kerala and also various other social issues I have been intervening. And my approach has been always peacekeeping and also resolve the problems. And we have been telling for years that this problem needs to be addressed, otherwise precious life will be lost. And I will be looking forward that permanent problem to the issue be made, and also the fishermen who are the citizens of the country have the right to safely journey and do fishing and make their livelihood. My approach would be to resolve the problem. See, immediately the problem could have been solved. There is Adani presence. During the rough season, as the season was coming, they could have just drugged it in the mouth of the seaport. They did not do anything. So they have been giving way for any unfortunate events to happen, and when accidents happen, they become and they make show off and tell that somebody else has made show off. This sort of approach is not healthy, and this is not welcome in a democratic country like India. And I have not at all probed any people for such sort of unhealthy interventions at all.
So you actually said that you have not in fact provoked people at all for any of this kind of intervention, and you're saying that the cases have been anyway filed. But I heard that there is some kind of protest is being planned by the church on this.
See, the larger public all over Kerala, there have been a lot of resistance and protests coming in. Civil society organizations, Gandhian organizations, yesterday they have all come and told that nobody else would be siding and being with the marginalized fishermen community and therefore somebody has to raise voice for these people. And they wanted to silence me from intervening in such issues. That's all. What is the malicious intention? I am not succumbed by those malicious intentions. My concerns are very clear, and the public has realized that this cry for the poor people is genuine and sincere, and I will stand by that.
You will stand by that. So you are going to face this case. You're going to fight it out in the courts as well, isn't it?
Definitely. If it is needed, I will go to the court and fight it out. But I'm not part of any processes happening. There are a lot of solidarity in messages coming to me. They are all with me, and they will be with me in fighting out this malicious processes.
Well, all right, Father, just stay with us. Let me go back to Rahul Ishwar. Rahul Ishwar, there's no other, once you start the process of law, you have no other option but to actually go through it. You have to prove the innocence from your part. So this tends to be some kind of harassment process as well, because at the end of the time, you still go through that process. Once you're accused, you have to go through that process to prove that you're innocent. So after that, the entire process itself becomes a sort of harassment and is used as a weapon. What do you think so?
Process should not become the punishment. Right now, unfortunately, in India, process has continuously being the punishment, and people have been either harassed, intimidated, threatened with the process, saying that you will have to go through all this and that's a sort of harassment. Government perfectly knows that these things are not going to be tried, and they know nobody is going to be convicted and punished for this. But they are using this as an intimidation tactic, and that is very unfortunate. See, that's the reason why they should always have their higher self. They should always have their nobler self dealing with such kind of things. Government and with due respect, law is not a technical thing. The law, law may be a very technical legal stuff, but the people who are applying law are not robots. They are not, they are not machines. They have a soul and heart of their own, so they can understand the context. See, a machine may not be able to understand a context, but people can understand a context. The context was that a very unfortunate thing has happened, and people have been demanding certain changes for the past very many months or even years. That has not been heard by the authorities. People naturally became angry. They went out their emotion. So, and right now they are again, agitating these people and again provoking these people in a very wrong way, using words like show off, using words like, they are trying to show off and their own thing. Naturally, people will be angry, and ministers are not supposed to use the tools of law as a mechanism for harassment. That's the reason why process should never become the punishment. I believe everyone in Kerala, beyond politics, should stand with Father Eugene Pereira and entire fisherman community, entire Latin Catholic Church at this time. And ministers should be more responsible, more sensitive, if I can use the word. Along with being responsible, ministers should be more sensitive and sensible to such situations. And it is up to them. And good critics like, from even the left liberals, even the left community, there are very good critics who are seeing this with, seeing this as an unfortunate posturing from the ministers. So I hope they will course correct and they will support people's fight for justice, and Father Eugene and others will get enough support from the civil society, I pray.
Well, before I go to Father Eugene, I'm going to Sebastian Paul, who has also been monitoring this. Sebastian Paul, you're one of those few people who have come out and said that there should be a introspection as to what exactly is happening. We spoke about the political fact of the coastal votes. We also spoke about it is being eroded to a large extent. But why is it? Why is it that some ministers do tend to not to listen? And especially when it comes to a second term, it seems that it has become quite a power-hungry situation, because there are several cases against, it's not only, activists like Father Eugene Pereira, there are cases also against a lot of media professionals for bringing out stories. Some, of course, there are issues with their stories, but there are some who have actually got genuine stories about it, and there are cases filed against them. So the very process of law is becoming a kind of harassment that the government finds easy to silence its critics.
And it is not a question of arrogance on the part of the party or the ministers. As Mr. Rahul Ishwar has stated, everywhere the authority or the government will function only in such a manner. That is what is happening. The government may not encourage or receive in good spirit the criticism against them. I am a former MP of the supported by the CPM, and even now I am a CPM fellow traveler, if we can use that term. But criminal cases are slapped against me also for making certain public speeches in public places. The police will find several sections and provisions for instituting a case. That is the way the government is functioning. And we are putting pressure on the government because it is a communist government, not to indulge in such ways. We have to give space for the protesters to protest, and that is how democracy will function in a place.
So you're saying there should be some kind of a way to let off. Father Eugene, I'm coming to the political aspect of this. You have been working with the coastal communities. Has the votes of the LDF been eroded with their action, both at Vizhinjam and now what has happened at Muthalapozhi? Because it looks like many of them have lost confidence in the LDF. There was a time when the coastal votes do go to the LDF, but even the existing LDF votary, do you think it has been eroded with these two big incidents?
See, the whole Trivandrum coast, about 79 kilometers, the whole Trivandrum coast is eroding and in turmoil. This year there was no heavy rain or heavy breeze, but most southern part of Kerala, that is Odiyur and Kollangur, this year also they lost houses. And the only road to travel to the other side, that has been eaten up by the sea. And the Tamil Nadu was very prompt that they have protected their 8 villages. After the construction of the Tengapattanam fishing harbour, the 8 villages on the northern side have been eaten up by the sea.
Father, what I was asking is that when it comes to LDF votary among the fishermen folk, do you think that has I mean, a lot of people will now be against the LDF from the fishing community, especially in Trivandrum area, because of Vizhinjam as well as because of the latest what has happened in Muthalapozhi harbour?
Definitely, people have understood that the government reigning is not with the people, the fishermen. They claim that they are doing all what is. See, that will have implications and impact on definitely the elections coming. Definitely, yes.
So you think that the response to what is happening to you will be reflected in the election, in the coming elections? So what we have latest is the 2024 elections. So do you think in the 2024 elections, the anger of the coastal people will be seen?
See, definitely, it's not only coastal, it is not only the coastal people. People in the environment field, people in the human rights field, people working with the marginalized communities, they are all very much upset about the process which a democratic government is doing. Definitely that will have implications even in the elections. Definitely.
Okay, so 2024 is going to be quite interesting when it comes to the coastal votes then for the LDF. Rahul Ishwar, I'll give you the last words before we close on this. As a person who's been seeing what is happening, I mean, there's a lot of changes and rumblings that are happening. Traditional vote bases are shifting to non-traditional parties, and you know, a lot of churning is happening within Kerala. But right here, has the LDF, over the years as an observer, has they shot themselves in the foot by going against the coastal communities?
See, let me be very honest. I'm an anti-left person. I'm not CPM. But I have respected CPM government over the years because Sri Pinarayi Vijayan has emerged as a very strong leader. I differ with his policies. But at the same point of time, left has had some balancing effect in Kerala. But unfortunately, over the past 2 years or few years, they have lost their edge. People, you know, beyond a political spectrum has become some kind of disillusioned and disappointed with them. And, you know, with the Manipur issue dampening the spirits for BJP, with the left earlier was actively trying to reach out to Christian communities too. It seems Christian community is back to the old UDF fold in a political sense. But there is an angle beyond politics, whether it be Congress, BJP or communists. There are some certain governance maryadas, as we call in Hindi, some manners that everyone has to abide by. I hope even though our CM is a very strong CM, he should be a sensitive CM too. We call him Irattachangula Mukhyamantri. That basically means he has twice the willpower, or twice the sensitivity of, twice the strength of everyone. But strength, it becomes more beautiful with sensitivity. I hope LDF government, especially CPM, not CPA. CPA has been sensitive over a period of time, but CPM shouldn't be arrogant. That is not good for a communist. That is not good for the whole their vision. I hope they changes, and definitely these are going to get reflected in Kerala elections. Within 1 year, there is going to be strong Lok Sabha elections. There is going to be in 2 or 3 years our assembly election is coming. So naturally, realignment is there. The old UDF formation is going to get stronger if people like Shashi Tharoor are going to come, and Christian community and Muslim community is going to en masse support him too by their own public posturings. Yes, there is a political realignment, but beyond politics, I hope CPM really course corrects, because CPM is one of the largest parties in Kerala with a mass base. It is not right for CPM to get arrogant because there is nobody on the other side. Congress may be weak, but that cannot be an excuse for CPM to get arrogant.
Well, CPM shouldn't get arrogant is what you say, and let's see what is going to happen when it comes to the coastal communities and 2024 elections. Well, thank you, Sebastian Paul, Rahul Ishwar, as well as Father Eugene Pereira for joining us and giving your insight as to this latest tussle between the Latin Church as well as the LDF, and this is the second time that this is happening, especially after the Vizhinjam agitation. We have been tracking the developments in Kerala as well. You can come onto the comment box and give your comments on the story as well. But further on, there is more on News 9 on the other side. With that, it is a wrap from me.